This is the Samsung Galaxy S7, arguably the best smartphone on the market today. And the reason why it's one of the best is because it's packed full of so many unique features. I'm Rob Wilson, you're watching the Video Gadgets Journal, and this is 30 Samsung Galaxy S features. There are two ways to take a screenshot on your Samsung Galaxy S7. The first is to hold the power button and the home button at the same time. The second requires a hand gesture and to be turned on through Settings, Advanced Features and Smart Capture. Toggle this option on, and while you're here also toggle on the palm swipe to capture option, and this is how you take the screenshot. You run the palm of your hand across the screen, and when you do so you'll also see editing options at the bottom of the screen. If you want to take a screenshot of something that's more than one screen, say for example a news article, you can take a screenshot, and when you do, an option in the bottom left will appear that says Capture More. If you press that, it will continue to take screenshots as it works its way down the article, and as you do so you will see a preview on the right hand side which you can tap to see the image that's stitched together. If you think the Galaxy S7 is a little too big to use in one hand, you can reduce the screen size by going to one-handed operation. Once it's toggled on, if you tap the home button 3 times quickly, it actually reduces the entire screen size so you can fit your thumb around everything. You can left justify it, right justify it and quickly return it to full screen. In addition to this, some apps have a one-handed input, such as the phone operations, which are shortened so that you can again reach all the number pad very easily with just your thumb. If you want to look at your screen without actually having to touch it when it's locked, you can do so by going to Accessibility in the Settings, Dexterity and Interaction, and then turning on the Easy Screen mode. When your phone is locked, if you just run your hand over the top of it, the sensor will pick up and show you the screen. One feature Samsung have been very keen to show is the AlwaysOn Display that gives you a calendar, time, notifications when the phone is locked, and it uses up about 1% of battery per hour. To turn this option on, if you go to the settings and then go down to display, there will be an option for always on, and you can change your settings a little bit, schedule it for when it's on and the content to show, although it is a little limited. Once the screen locks, the always on display should show. The Assistive Menu is this little button here that floats on your screen, and you can drag it around, snap it to where you want to, and it will also appear in apps. If you press on it, it gives you a couple of options such as going back, the notification panel, recent apps and other accessibility options. In order to get this option to appear, if you go to Settings and then scroll down to Accessibility, Dexterity and Interaction, and it's the Assistive Menu which you can either turn on or off. For saving a battery on your Galaxy S7 you have two options, both accessed from Battery in Settings. The first is the traditional power saving mode, and if you turn this on it will restrict your device in terms of syncing up to the internet, vibration, feedback and performance. If you want to go more extreme you can use the ultra power saving mode, but that's going to turn off things like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You'll get a very simplified version of your smartphone, and it's going to turn off all your colours as well, so use that only in extreme circumstances. But obviously if you look here you can save a lot of extra battery power by turning them on. When you first switched on your Samsung Galaxy S7 you probably set up Fingerprint Scanner for at least one finger, but it's worth setting it up for multiple fingers if you wish, and to do this you go down to Lock Screen and Security and Fingerprints. After you've put in your secondary password you can add more fingerprints, and it's probably worth doing your left thumb, right thumb and your index finger for at least one of your hands. That means that you're always sure that you can unlock your device no matter what finger you're using. The Galaxy S7 includes a feature called Smart Lock, whereby you can unlock the device without using your fingerprint because it's connected to devices it trusts, such as my smartwatch. In order to manage these settings, you can get to it through the Lock Screen and Security, Secure Lock Settings, and then Smart Lock. In this screen, it will show you all the devices that are connected through the Trusted Devices Smart Lock option, in this case a smartwatch. You can also set it to have trusted places, so that if you're at home and you know you're going to be unlocking a device a lot and you don't need a fingerprint scanner, you can set that location as a trusted area. Although the Galaxy S7 isn't the largest device on the market, there is a split screen mode. If you press and hold the recent apps button, that will split the screen in two, and then you can select an app for the top half of the screen and an application for the bottom half of the screen. The active window is highlighted blue, and you can use the toggle in the middle here to increase or reduce the size of the screen, and press on the other application to then do the same thing. If you want to back out of any of this, just use the home button to return to the home screen. A second way to multitask on your device is to go to Settings, Advanced Options, and then turn on Pop-up View Gesture. When you do this, certain applications will be turned into windows if you want to. For example, if I go to Facebook and drag down from the top left hand corner of the screen, that will turn it into a window that floats on my home screen. You can then resize the window or use the white button at the top to drag it around the screen and long press on it to get various options such as closing it down and even minimizing it into a floating button. Now you can do this for more applications if you want to. For example, if I find Twitter and do exactly the same thing, drag from the top of the screen, I can turn that into a floating window as well, open up Facebook, and now I have two windows on my device. The gallery includes some interesting features, the first of which is the ability to pinch and zoom to increase your thumbnails or decrease them. At the top left hand side of the screen, you also have options to change from sorting your pictures in time or categories, where it will try to work out itself what type of picture have you taken, say for example scenery or panoramas. And finally, if you have geolocation turned on, it will try to create events. Say if you go on vacation, I went to Victoria recently in British Columbia, and it sorted all the pictures from that trip into that event. There is a private mode on the device which lets you hide files and pictures if you need to. It's accessed through private mode in notifications. You can enable it on or off, and when you enable it for the first time, you will have to set up some form of security. Once it's active, if you go to save a gallery, you have the option to hide a picture in private mode. So if I press on more here in the top right hand corner, there is the option here to move to private. Once it's in private mode, if I take the system out of private mode by going to the notifications again and taking it outside of private, you will see that the picture has now disappeared. If I re-enable private mode through again the notifications, and it will ask me for a security pattern code, the picture reappears. If you press and hold the home button, this will launch Google Now, which gives you contextual information based on what's currently on screen. In this example, it's about a famous soccer player, and it gives me options to look at his Wikipedia page, Instagram, view videos about him on YouTube. One of the more unusual features is sound detectors, where you can either have a baby crying or the doorbell ringing from your house and it will alert you. Now unfortunately I don't have a baby at hand, so I'm going to enable the sound detector for the bell. So you go to accessibility, then hearing, then sound detector, and then turn on the doorbell detector. When you first enable the feature, you have to record the actual sound of a doorbell ringing, so you press on the record button and then actually press on the doorbell. Then stop the recording. At this point your device will want to hear the sound again, so you have to play the recording and press on the doorbell once again, and if it's the same sound, it should confirm that the sound has been recorded for your device. Once the sound is recorded and you enable doorbell detector, simply press the doorbell again, and wherever you are on your device, it should alert you that the doorbell is ringing. The S7 comes with a fully integrated games mode, and it's accessed by going to Settings, Advanced Features, and choosing Games at the top. Make sure Game Launcher and Game Tools are switched on. We'll look at Game Launcher first. This puts all your games into one folder on your home screen, and you have additional options here such as downloading new games, turning on or off alerts, recommended games in top charts, but the most interesting thing here is the save power during game option, which gives you three options to save power by putting the frame rate lower and the resolution lower, and so on. The game tools are where it really gets interesting. If you enable it, you'll have a small launcher button here, which you can drag along the screen and put it discreetly where you want, but when you tap on it, you'll get various options, including turning off alerts for your phone, locking the capacitive keys at the bottom, minimizing the game into a floating button on your device. You can even take a snapshot as well through the option there, and one of the really useful features is a record feature, which will actually record your screen as you're playing. So then you can upload the videos maybe to YouTube or another gaming social media platform. If you're a music buff and you want to change exactly how the Galaxy S7 sounds, you can go to Sounds and Vibrations, scroll to the very bottom and then choose Sound Quality and Effects. This is essentially an equalizer to tailor it exactly how you want it. If you want to download large files as quickly as possible and data usage is not an issue for you, you can do this by going to More Connection Settings and turning on Download Booster. When you have a file of over 30 meg, you can use both your Wi-Fi and LTE network to use the connection and download as quickly as possible. Obviously, if you do have data usage restrictions, then I highly recommend keeping this setting off. To put your phone into silent mode, you want to choose the Do Not Disturb option. From here, you can enable it or schedule it so that it turns on and turns off at certain points in the day and time. There are a few customization options, and if you want to do this even quicker, you can go to the settings on your notification tray and use the Do Not Disturb option to quickly turn it on and quickly turn it off. If you want to set a rotating wallpaper on your lock screen, you can do so by going to Wallpapers and then changing the option to Lock Screen and then selecting from the gallery. From here you'll be able to select more than one picture. So if I take 3 pictures as an example and press done, that will set the lock screen to rotating wallpaper. So if I unlock the screen now, you can see that it's showing a picture. If I then dim the screen and then show the lock screen again, the picture transitions from one picture to another. So every time you look at the lock screen, it will rotate the wallpaper. If you want more Galaxy S7 tips just like this, then check out my full ultimate guide, which includes over 100 tips. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon. Enjoy the rest of your tech day. Bye for now.